And I want to thank both Unlock Democracy and Make Votes Matter for holding today, because it's really, really important. I am absolutely delighted that we've had a hung parliament. Theresa May and Lynton Crosby wanted you to believe this was a presidential election between two people. It was not. We do not run a presidential system in this country. And the Progressive Alliance was many of you voting tactically, which you have to do in order to vote. But unfortunately, you do it to vote in a negative way. And this time, the Liberal Democrats caught the cold with that. In the past, we've often benefited from it, but obviously not enough. And the Liberal Democrats have been proposing proportional representation for decades and decades. I joined the party in '74, a year of 2 general elections, by the way. I wonder if we'll have a second this year, partly because of the unfair representation system. The problem with the Progressive Alliance under the first past the post system is that it suppresses all the minor parties, and it makes it far harder for all of us to be able to fight further. And that's why we absolutely have to continue with the fight for proportional representation. In 2010, the Liberal Democrats took all the seats in Cornwall, and we had most of them in Devon, in the southwest. Despite that, we knew that we had to continue to fight for PR. We knew that if we had PR, our number of seats in that region would go down. Why? Because it's not about us, the political parties. It's about your vote counting. It's about making sure that Parliament is more representative. Every Parliament with over 40% women has PR. Big message there. But it's not just that. It's also representations from our Black, Asian and minority ethnic communities. And it's about disabled representation too. You heard just now that each seat in this Parliament cost us 200,000 votes. We also missed 4 seats by under 500 votes. That would have been significantly different for us. It would have tripled our numbers since the previous election. It would have been really, really important. But what worries me is that both the other parties talk about reforming the way Parliament works. We cannot reform the way Parliament works until people believe that their vote counts. So my party will continue to fight for reform of the House of Lords. I'd love to get booted out as an appointed peer. I might even try to be elected, but I don't think it's right that we should have an unelected chamber, nor does my party. We need to make sure that funding is fair. We cannot have a position where one party can buy an election, which is virtually what we've now got. We absolutely have to have a limit on donations to make sure that the smaller parties who rely entirely on individual donations can fight elections fairly themselves. But I'll end by saying one more time, all of this is utterly irrelevant, and our democracy is irrelevant until we truly have a proportional system where every vote can count. Thank you.